A fire outbreak has destroyed property worth millions of naira at the popular Pantaka market in Kaduna. According to traders there, the fire, which began around 11 p.m. on Tuesday night, left many traders devastated as they lost their sources of livelihood. Our correspondent, Trusty B. Bello Musa, completes the report.
Woods and other goods once occupied this place, but they have burnt to ashes after the Inferno. Scavengers have taken over the scene.
About 250 shops were destroyed and goods worth millions of naira were lost. People sell woods here and many secure loans to fund their business.
It's a total damage. Fire incident happened around 11:30 p.m. yesterday. The cause of the fire is said to be ascertained, but a committee has been set up to look into what really happened and how we can address it in the near future.
Millions of naira were lost.
According to them, traders are traumatized due to the huge losses they have incurred.
People sell woods here and many secure loans to fund their business. Now everything has been burned to ashes.
Pantaka market accommodates thousands of youths who engage in one skill or the other, but this fire incident is, according to them, a major setback.
This is a poverty alleviation market whereby over 30,000 people within the vulnerable age of 15 to 25 are engaged into different skills. And of course, this is a setback economically to those teeming youth.
Although the cause of the fire incident is yet to be ascertained, the traders are, however, appealing for help from government in order to move on with their life. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Now, the Federal Executive Council has ordered a thorough investigation be carried out into an explosion that rocked Ibadan, Oyo State, on Tuesday. The council gave the directive at its first meeting of 2024, chaired by President Bola Tinubu. Trust TV's Kende Amadou has this and other engagements of the Federal Executive Council on Wednesday.
Going beyond an investigation into the explosion in Ibadan, the Council of Ministers has set up a committee to look into issues of environmental degradation and deforestation. Minister of Defense Muhammad Badaru points out that the activities of illegal miners pose a huge challenge to Nigeria, and the committee is expected to come up with a roadmap for tackling the menace.
Well, we have seen that report. There is another report that is suggesting also gas explosion. So our team are there to try to find out what is the cause. But the council, to be proactive, already set up the committee that I told you to look into how the control of explosive law is broken.
Meanwhile, the cabinet is worried about another menace, the spate of kidnapping in the Federal Capital Territory. To this end, the service chiefs have been mandated to beef up security in the nation's capital. The defense minister explained that during a meeting with service chiefs on Tuesday, President Tinubu ordered them to swing into action and bring the menace to an end. He attributed the rise in security challenges within the FCT to the military operations in the northwest and parts of the north central, which have forced the bandits to flee their hideouts.
It is very sad for people to go over the internet, radio, asking for donation to pay ransom. This will only worsen the situation. It will not help the situation at all, as you have seen. Initially, they asked for, I think, 60 million. And now, because of this funding that they learned, somebody has raised 50 million already through friends and media. They jack off the ransom.
Away from defense and security, President Tinubu has approved the payment of renewal fees for the group life insurance for federal government workers. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris explained that the president had approved about 9.6 billion naira for 12 local insurance firms to cover the federal workers in case of unforeseen eventualities in the course of their duties.
The federal government today approved the group life assurance for all federal government staff as submitted by the head of service. About 12 companies were involved, Nigerian insurance companies were involved, and about 9.8 billion naira was approved by council.
Interestingly, the Federal Executive Council has also expressed concerns over the rising costs of goods and services in the country.
His Excellency, the President, has always reiterated that Nigeria is open for business and that there are no more roadblocks. We are removing and we've removed these roadblocks. And these roadblocks include multiple taxation, multiple levies, custom duties and various levies that are imposed on businesses.
Also on Wednesday, Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, disclosed that the Council had mandated him to obtain the National Assembly's ratification of the tax liberalization agreement signed between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates during President Tinubu's visit to the country.
Time around, it's about the relationship between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates. You recall that a while ago, just I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, the president was in United Arab Emirates. And one of the matters that came up for discussion and negotiation was the issue of the agreement for the elimination of double taxation.
Before the commencement of the first Federal Executive Council for the year, President Tinubu had sworn in Ambassador Desmond Akawo as the Commissioner of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission. From State House Abuja, Kehinde Amudu, Trust TV News.
And now on judicial matters, Justice Hamza Muazu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court has granted the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele's request to travel out of the FCT. The court said Emefiele must, however, remain in the country as part of his bail term, which restricted him to remain in the capital, FCT. Emefiele, through his lawyer Matthew Boka Hassan, had requested a variation of the terms, which the Council of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Rotimi Oyedepo San, did not object. He told the court to ensure that Emefiele wrote an undertaking that he will remain in the country if his plea was granted. The charge against the former governor of the CBN was also amended to 20 from 6. The amended charges against Emefiele now include criminal breach of trust, forgery, conspiracy to commit forgery, procurement fraud, and conspiracy to commit felony. The court had on December 24, 2023 granted Emefiele bail in the sum of 300 million naira with 2 sureties, a like sum. Meanwhile, residents of 10 communities in Bungudu local government area of Zamfara State have fled their homes for fear of being attacked by a notorious bandits leader, Nagala, who had earlier sent attack threats to them. The affected villages are Gidan Soro, Maji, Fandahaki, Hayin Dankaru, Doka, Dangamji, Galmuwar Hannu, Dankatsina, da Kwalgi, and Gidan Arni. The residents, our reporter gathered, fled their homes following a recent operation carried out by soldiers of the Operation Hadarin Daji unit. The operatives on Tuesday stormed the famous Danbasa Bozaya forest and recovered a large number of cows allegedly stolen and kept by Nagala. Following the onslaught, the bandits vowed to attack the communities in retaliation. Meanwhile, residents who have been fleeing for fear of being killed are appealing to the state and federal government to deploy more security personnel to the area to protect lives and property. Security agencies were yet to respond to inquiries about the security situation there at the time of filing this report. And another development, a local chief and 3 teenagers have been reportedly abducted by suspected gunmen in a Fin community, Ilere district of Efelodun, local government area of Kwara State. It was learned that the incident occurred on Tuesday night. The police, however, said 3 suspects had been arrested in connection with the abduction. Confirming the incident, the public relations officer of the Kwara State Police Command, DSP Ton Ejere Adeyemi, identified the local chief as Simon Ebuwe, who is the Olukotun of our Fin community, and 3 other teenagers. She said it was the Kabesi of the community who informed the police about the development. Ejere Adeyemi stated that abducted victims were taken to an unknown location, but on the receipt of the information, a team of the military, police and local hunters swung into action and stormed the bush, where they were able to arrest 3 alleged informants. linked to the suspected armed kidnappers who are now on the run. In a related development, gunmen have attacked a local security outfit at the Mbo Court area in the Oku local government area of Ebonyi State, killing one security personnel. The chairman of Oku local government, Ikichuku Odono, who confirmed the incident, said he was saddened by the attack, noting that the gunmen killed a female officer, inflicted injuries on another, destroyed properties worth millions of naira, and carted away a motorcycle. Odono, while lamenting the spate of brutality meted on security operatives by gunmen, consoled the families of the murdered victim. Meanwhile, the Ebonyi State Police Command has assured that the police officers will ensure the culprits are brought to book when investigations are on. Now, the International Press Center, specifically its Center for Safety and Protection of Journalists, has expressed dismay at the reported police invasion of ABN TV and the forced arrest of a guest during a live program in Umuahia on Tuesday, January 16, 2024. The center has called on the Commissioner of Police in Abia State, CP Kene, to call his officers to order and ensure the replacement of items belonging to the station that were damaged during the invasion. Melody Akinjian, press freedom officer at the center, issued a statement on Thursday quoting the executive director of IPC, Larry Arogundade, who described the police action as provocative, labeling it an unnecessary act of overzealousness, despite pleas from the station staff to allow the program to conclude before making the arrest. The officers insisted on taking the guest away during the live broadcast. In response to this incident, the IPC is urging the Commissioner of Police to address the actions of his officers and facilitate the replacement of damaged equipment at the ABN TV station. Now, the Lagos State Police Command on Wednesday paraded 37 suspects arrested for various offences within the metropolis in the last 30 days. Items recovered from the suspect include 16 guns, 72 live carriages, 75 ammunition, 6 axes, 4 daggers, 5 cutlasses, 2 vehicles, 1 POS machine, fake vehicle number plates, and charms. The Lagos State Police Commissioner Adekoke Fayode, while parading the suspects at the command headquarters in Ikeja, said 3 leaders of a notorious cult gang terrorizing Ikorodu and its environs were part of those arrested. He also said 3 members of an armed robbery gang that specializes in wearing military camouflage to operate were also arrested. He further stated that during the invasion, the suspect snatched an AK-47 rifle from a police officer, adding that during the interrogation, the suspect confessed to the crime and other criminal activities within Lagos and its environs. This is Trust News Update, coming up after the break. Northern students call for concerted efforts to address gaps in education. Details of that and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. And here is a recap of some of our top stories. Inferno raises goods worth millions at all Pantaka market in Kaduna. And court grants Emefiele permission to travel out of FCT. Now to more stories. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has suspended its plan to bar Glo subscribers from calling MTN lines for 21 days. In a statement on Thursday, NCC's Director of Public Affairs, Robin Moka, said the Commission decided to suspend the action after the telcos agreed to resolve all outstanding issues between them. Earlier, the regulatory body said it has approved MTN Nigerian Communications PLC to commence the past disconnection of Globacom Limited with effect from January 18, 2024 due to a long-standing interconnection debt dispute between the parties. However, the Commission in the latest directive said it is suspending the partial disconnection for 21 days with effect from January 18, 2024. According to NCC, its approval for disconnection will have potential impact on consumers. In its extension notice, the NCC stressed that mobile network operators and other licensees in the telecom industry must adhere to the terms and conditions of their licenses, especially as contained in their interconnection agreements. Meanwhile, northern Nigerian students are appealing to the government at all levels to subsidize education in order to provide the opportunity for children of common people to have access to quality education that will better their lives. The students made the appeal in Kaduna when they converged on Ariwa House to reflect on the legacies of the then Premier of Northern Region, Samadu Bello. The report.
This area house used to be the official residence of Sir Ahmadu Bello Sardauna Sokoto. The northern Nigerian students are gathered here to celebrate the legacies of Premier of Northern Nigeria, Sir Ahmadu Bello.
So that is why we choose to celebrate their legacies, not to celebrate their own murder or to celebrate their own death, but we want to celebrate their own legacies because the prime time they spent on earth, they did a lot, and they did so wonderfully well to make the unity of Nigeria.
The students harp on the need for leaders to emulate Sardauna by giving young people opportunities to excel in politics and governance for the betterment of the country.
The missing link, I think, is because of the lack of improper presentation we have at the helm of the affairs. We know, as we have already discussed, if today Nigeria will adopt something that has to be, when it comes to an electionary period, let's have an independent candidature, so there is no any party system or the likes of it.
One of the areas the late Sardauna recorded a lot of achievement was education, which these students say is in need of urgent attention.
At least if they can be able to see that they subsidize the education, and whether one like it or not today, the educational system, most especially when it comes to universities, are in the verge of being privatized, because the kind of increase of tuition fees today in Nigeria is worrisome.
My appeal to them is to be God-fearing, to be hardworking, to be focused, and to be good people of Nigeria.
They also call for the inclusion of more young people in the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Against the backdrop of the sustained revenue pressure and scarcity of foreign exchange, the federal government has opened talks with the World Bank to secure a $1.5 billion fresh loan. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Wale Edun, who disclosed this while speaking with Bloomberg, linked the borrowing to the need to improve supply of foreign exchange and soften the pressure on exchange rate. Edun further said the Central Bank of Nigeria has reduced forex backlog to $5 billion. Nigeria is also confident of having access to the Eurobond market and may look to tap it later this year if rates move sufficiently lower. Now, away from Nigeria, Pakistan on Thursday said it had carried out strike against militant targets in Iran a day after Tehran launched attacks on Pakistan territory earlier this week. Iranian state media reported 3 women and 4 children were killed in explosions in the country's southeast. The attack comes after Iran confirmed carrying out strikes against a terrorist group late Tuesday in Pakistan, an attack that Islamabad said killed 2 children. Iran's official Al news agency reported that several explosions have been heard in several areas around the city of Saravan. Quoting a provincial official, Pakistan's foreign ministry on Wednesday denounced what it called the unprovoked and blatant breach of Pakistan's sovereignty. Before recalling its ambassador from Iran and blocking Tehran's envoy, currently in Iran, from returning to the country. Beijing said on Thursday it was willing to mediate between Pakistan and Iran following the exchange of fire. And now finally on sports news, Nigeria began their Africa Handball Nations Cup campaign on a losing note as they gallantly lost to Angola 26-24 on March the 1st of the championship. The young Golden Arrows of Nigeria's side, led by coach Rafiu Salami, locked horns against the Angolans, throwing everything into the match, which was a close affair between the two sides, with the first half ending 13-11 in favor of Angola. The second half was same as the first period, with Nigeria going even more stronger, to the point of leading at some point in the match, but met a resilient Angolan team which edged them with a vital advantage from the 7 meters to win 26-24. They will play Tunisia in their next match on Friday at 7 p.m. Tunisia earlier on earned a strong and very comfortable 59-18 victory over Kenya. And with that, we have come to the end of Trust News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentary. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.